All right, everybody, welcome to another one of those times where we do that thing we do, which is go to someone's house randomly. We don't say who they are, and one of us probably doesn't even know, and we just rip through their house and praise what deserves praise and criticize what deserves criticizing and probably ramble on about random other related things. So, as always, I'm here with Hetera, and we are going to get started.
So this is the Domus Phrasticus thingy majiggy, and it's about 300,000 gold, and oh my gosh, I forget how much crowns it is, but it's somewhere more than 100 and less than 15,000.
When you say it like that, like the oh my gosh, I forget how many crowns it is, it sounds like it's more expensive than it probably is.
I think it's like 3,100 if I had to make a gander,
Alright, so
maybe.
say it's probably in the ballpark of 3K, and we're not going to go back and check and start recording again or anything like that. So, anyhow, so this is a house in Craglorn. It's an Imperial style house, and this entryway is quite a bit different than we would normally see in this house. We've got planks and platforms just leading all over the place.
So I actually dig it because it is a small property, and being able to make different areas of interest and split it up and make it look cozy. It's one of the things that I'm really always impressed when people do, and I think that they did this successfully because this is one of the smaller properties that actually has a yard, and it is a tiny little yard, but you don't feel how small it is because of what they did with it, and I do like that.
I will definitely agree with that in regards to increasing the size, but I'm going to reserve judgment on whether or not I like what they did based on how much they've actually decorated the space they've opened up.
So everybody has their own thing with housing, and it seems like a lot of people have a thing with planks, and I don't get it. Like, I love housing, but what is it with people in planks and wanting to, like, build up and build out and build, like, random things so that they can look at the view? Because, like, you can just, like, leave the zone and look at the view. I've never really got that. And I don't want to talk shit about people that are super into it, but it's one of those things where, like, I just can't relate. Like, pork rinds. I can't relate to
that. We've transitioned now from planks to pork rinds, and that's just the random insanity that happens sometimes when we do these things. Yeah, I actually kind of confused me a little bit, like, because at first you're like, you really like that they've built all this extra structure for the space, and then you're like, I totally don't get the plank thing.
So it's like when your parents are like, I don't hate you, I hate the things you do. That's sort of where I'm at.
Okay. I guess I can live with that. I'm not going to lie. I'm still a little bit confused by it, but that's okay.
Alright, well, here. This reminds me of, like, someplace you would duel, and I dig that, and they built the planks up so you can, like, look down on it. And I actually like it, because a lot of people are like, we're going to build arenas or whatever. And it looks the same, and this doesn't look anything like a normal arena. So I actually really like how they used the planks, and they made more space with it. The other random planks they seem to have put around their place to look out on scenery and run, I don't understand, but like this use of planks, I respect.
Okay, yes. Now I get what you're saying, and I completely agree. Like, meaningful use of planks and other platforms and stuff, like, absolutely. But, like, when you're just running off and, like, all you're gaining is, like, a little extra view, it's totally not working. You're wasting item spaces, and you're opening up more space that you're not doing anything with, which creates a greater feeling of emptiness, which is a silly thing to do in a property like this where the item limit relative to the space is actually somewhat favorable in that you can actually pack the house reasonably well and make it look pretty good. So you add all that vertical space and then you block the basic ground here, and it would make us have to jump over this or climb.
I'm gonna walk around like it was originally intended. I'd like it.
Nope, they meant to jump. Totally says there's a sign right there, jump here. I guess wood elves can't read, though, I forget.
I will slice your heart beating and eat it.
Once you thoroughly cook it, right?
I'll make an exception.
Ooh. So, that's word to the wise, do not make fun of your wood elf companion.
Like, to me, I would have built this stuff up to, like, see how high I could build and what I could do with it. And then I would have taken it down and just made, like, one plank that was, like, super freaking awesome, to give you that one view. And filled it up with, like, a couple benches and, like, some really cool shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I think the neatest things when you first get a house is seeing exactly what the limits are to the house, how far up, over, out, whatever. So I think that's really cool to do. But yeah, I kind of agree with not like leaving this crap here without like putting some benches or something to like clearly make it a viewing area.
Yeah, like my tower, like I built up as high as I could. So like on my second floor, if you jump, there's a foot clear. Like I figured out exactly where I could build, and then I took all the other stuff down and I built from there. Like I would have done this, and then I would have used this little area here and put like some rugs and some benches and some beer, so you can come up here and like check your shit out, or maybe put siege equipment up here and defend it from gargoyles.
Yeah, gargoyles and wood elves.
I'll pick your lock and I'll cut you from behind.
Pick my lock. I'm not gonna ask any questions. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
Pick your lock on the front of your door, and then I'll sneak up on all the random planks that you don't need here, and from behind, and I'll slice your throat.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, we're just traipsing along more random planks to places we don't need to be. Yeah. Why? Just why so many planks, people?
But I do like this area, I mean, this is like a legit dueling arena. The chairs, the way it's set up, the extra little plants, I'm kind of actually sort of okay with where they put them. I think that they should have just did this, went one more floor up with a little tiny area to look out, and then take the rest of the planks down.
So you're okay with these plants just growing out of these planks?
No, actually I'm not, but I was gonna, no, yeah, I'm not. Visually
they do look alright, but when you think about them for half a second, it's kind of startling.
See, what I would have done is I would have bought like one of the full troughs, which isn't, and I would have just plopped them in there and made it look like a planter, and or even one of the wood elf troughs. There's a couple different things you can use for planters that are believable, even besides the urns. And that's what I would have used instead of all the extra planks. I would have, made it like somebody actually planted it and it could grow.
Yep, I would definitely agree with that. Like, not only would it look better visually, it would be completely 100% believable. I think we've pretty much exhausted the outdoors at this point. It's largely just planks and then this area that's actually good.
One of the better arenas, more original arenas I've seen.
Yeah, it's kind of subtle even. You don't necessarily...
I like it. I totally do dig it. It was a good job. So I will say, when I saw this wheelbarrow here, I was super excited because it was like really kind of witty and cool to put there. And then right before we started this video, I went to the furnished version, and that's where the wheelbarrow was.
Yep, so that clever bit of furnishing is default. And I think a lot of what we're seeing here in this room for regular furniture is default.
Yeah, I think what they did was they got the furnished version and they left most of the stuff default, and then they put little things and added like a couple other things instead of like taking the furnished version, moving everything, kind of like shuffling it up and making it like look like their own.
Yep. And it looks like we've got a painting over the fireplace that is floating. So that's something that needs fixing. I really hope that wasn't part of the pre-furnished version because that would be terrible.
Well, okay, here you go. The one painting when you were at my island and you were talking shit about how everything was placed perfectly, the one thing that you gave me shit about was that one painting in the main bedroom, and that was default. And I couldn't get it without going through and like picking it up because you couldn't actually interact with it. And it was one of those things I never got around to.
Okay, so you're making excuses now for your failures. I understand. When I toured your island, I expected perfection. I should have known that a wood elf isn't capable of perfection. So, my bad.
That was me not fixing Zos's mistake.
Well, that's understandable. I'm still not going to accept it.
Okay. Well, what I'm also not going to accept is the cactus is growing on shelves and this lack of fire safety.
Yeah. Gonna kind of have to agree with you there. This fire is just totally not even close to safe. There's nothing like containing it.
Like if somebody came to your house and built a fire in the middle of your bedroom, like I'd be like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?"
This is attempted arson. That's what this is. This is not like a practical fire. This is I'm trying to burn your house down. I don't know why we're doing this. And I also kind of agree with the cactuses. Cactuses don't just grow out of wood. Just that's not how things work.
No, but I want to say that out of this place, it's a cute little cozy place, and you do have a higher item limit per square foot here. And this is one of the best little window boxes for plants that I've seen in a lot of the houses. So I would have turned that into a gorgeous little plant box. A couple little bricks to cut off the wood, and then to fill it up with maybe 5 cacti and a couple little pebbles, and you would have a gorgeous little plant box.
Yep, that's an excellent tip. I think still though, most of what we're seeing here is again just default, plus we're getting some busts and this lovely floating basket here, which totally needs to be fixed because I see no reason that it should be floating like almost knee high off the ground. Well, actually it is knee high to the wood elf, but
Hey now, and this bed, and right here, yeah, this bed.
Oh yeah, yep. That bed is definitely flying.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that there's some really cool things they did with the outside. And I think that if they had edited a little bit and paid a little more attention to detail, this is one of the cuter little places you could decorate with and be able to still have an item limit to put a lot of little stuff in it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely one of the highest potential properties in regards to item limits relative to space.
I don't personally own it, but my guess would be 300 items for ESO Plus subscribers. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like it's in that ballpark. Yeah, I can't say for sure, but in any case, like it's not a lot of space, but the item limit is. It's definitely. I would definitely say it's not lower than 300. So, yeah, this house like pretty nice job with the outside, with the exception of the excessive planks, and the inside is largely default with just stuff kind of added somewhat at random. Not terribly exciting overall, but again, if the person who owns this property is watching this, you've chosen a really great property and it's got like a lot of potential. You really should just take the time to take advantage of your item limit and move your default furniture around a little bit. Like, it's totally cool to keep the stuff, but change the locations and make it interesting, and don't always have everything just like level with a wall all the time. Like, go kitty corner with stuff. That can really
And when he said kitty corner, he means catty corner?
yes, there's a reason why I have a co-host. It's because I say things wrong sometimes, and also it's fun to have someone to make fun of and make fun of you. Anyhow, catty corner. Gosh, I never knew that.
You really called it kitty corner?
Yeah, like that's what I've always heard and always known.
Maybe it's a New York thing.
It could be. I don't know. I think my entire life view has changed now.
It's alright, I can't say the word Keller.
What word is that supposed to be?
Like the Keller Red?
Oh, God, I don't know if I can, like, be your friend anymore. That is horrible.
It's genetic. My brother does the same thing. We don't know where we got it, because my mom says it right, my dad used to say it right, so I don't know.
That is very interesting, and probably not a discussion for this video. So, let us apologize for the extremely random tangent we just took. Again, excellent job outside, with the exception of the excessive blanks. Inside,
I concur.
And thank you all very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and we will see you next week at the same time, Friday, when the luxury vendor pops up.